Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this is I believe our second special teacher coffee. And we give a chance for the teachers to share what's going on in their classrooms and a peek with some pictures about what's going on. And
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cecile Santini, PE teacher for JK through 5th. And just really quick, I want to go over a quick overview of kind of what the PE program is like. So in junior kindergarten, the children come to us 2 days out of the 6-day rotation. And I'm the teacher for them, and we start off with a lot of locomotor skills and just skill work, like skipping, galloping, stuff like that. And we put that into tagging games so that they can get a little cardiovascular work at the beginning of the class. And then the second half of the class is more skill-based. We'll do different skills, using different types of equipment, from beanbags to hula hoops, jump ropes, parachute, balls. So we just kind of basically work on skills and a little bit of cardiovascular work with the junior kindergarten. And then when they come into kindergarten, they come to us 4 days out of the 6-day rotation. And I have a co-teacher, Miss Powell. She's our PE associate teacher. And so they'll see me 2 days and Miss Powell 2 days. And we just do more, it's the same structure where we do that cardiovascular work at the beginning of the session, focusing on locomotor skills and teamwork and being kind to each other. And then we get into a little bit deeper into the skills, and we do more foot skills as well. We get into like soccer and kickball at the end of the year, a little bit of team ball. And then when they get into first grade, that's when we focus 1st through 5th. They also come 4 days out of the 6-day rotation, and we focus more on a sport. So we'll start with kickball, and we'll take all those skills that we've learned and put them into the game scenario and work on, this is still kindergarten doing the parachute.
Go fast enough, sorry.
Yeah, no worries, I'm sorry, I forgot about this slide. So they love the parachute. That's one of the favorites of the junior kindergartners and the kindergartners. And then in 1st grade through 5th, we do more skill-based. And this is dance. They love dance. This is, Miss Powell came to us last year, and she has a degree in dance, and the kids love it, and I love what it's done to our program. It's really opened it up. She also brings gymnastic skills with her, so they love having those two kind of alternative sports to participate in. So we do the regular ones like soccer and football and basketball, volleyball, and we're just teaching them the skills, and then we build it into a game, a modified game usually here, and teaching them the rules and how to play good sportsmanship with each other. And and then we also do a fitness test, which we started in October, the testing, and then we do it periodically through the year, with it culminating at the end with the test in April. And they're trying to earn patches. And the presidential fitness test is what we used to follow, but then they stopped doing that. So we kind of created our own through trial and error. And we're using their same standards for how many sit-ups and push-ups that you can do, but we've kind of made it our own, our Parker Fitness Challenge. And they will receive patches and certificates again at the end of the year. And we'll also have one called a Parker Power Award, which is more based on, we're going to do it just on the running this year and how much they improve their running time throughout the year. So they have cards, and we put their times down as we progress through the year. So, and then we give them back to them at the end so they can show you their improvement through the year and how their skills have improved. So that's basically PE in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions or anything I didn't answer?
Tell them about the orphans yesterday.
Yesterday it was amazing. We had the World Orphan Choir, was that what they're called?
Yeah.
Come and perform for us, and everyone was out there. It was so moving. And then at the end, they were able to come out and join our 4th graders for a little bit of dancing. So Ms. Powell took them through dancing, some of the dances that she has taught our girls and boys. And so then she taught them, and they were all doing it together. And Ms. Gray got a great photo and video, and it was just so exciting. The kids really enjoyed it. I think both the orphans and our children enjoyed it, and getting to kind of communicate and dance together.
Where were the orphans from?
All over. They were from Africa and Peru and
India.
India.
In Nepal.
In Nepal, yeah.
Did they speak English? They all spoke English, but it was very little English. But it was so cool for the kids to interact with those kids.
I still
You
get
could hear a
goosebumps.
pin
Like
drop in
everyone
their
was just
performance.
like
The kids were
tears. It was.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So is this their life that they travel and
No, they live in their own countries.
in orphanages?
I heard they do it for a year. I'm not sure if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm
From June to
wrong.
March, the ski group will stay together.
And they travel.
Train together, and then all of them are followed by this organization, International Children's.
Matsiko is what it's called.
Well, that's a subcategory of it, but it's the International Children's Network, I believe. And they follow them, support them all the way through college. So all those kids
That's
have the
very cool.
opportunity to go to college because of these activities and the money they raise.
It's amazing. Did you have a
I
question?
was just gonna say, I heard great things about it. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it from the kids. And my son said, Mom, they should be on America's Got Talent.
Our kids were so appreciative, and during the performance, the performers, the orphans, would come out to the audience and shake hands with as many
my God,
kids. And you could see our kids just, some were a little shy, and others were just
Reaching
and
out.
A lot of the kids gave them a standing ovation at the end. It was
Oh, yeah.
very
It was
moving.
awesome. It really was.
Really
Try to
moving. I think it
share
touched a
some
lot of
photos.
kids.
Yeah, I can pull them up.
Amazing. It just
Yeah.
Quickly integrated with our kids and vice versa. And then at lunch, we had a bit of a problem because we let them go out on the playground first to play. And so it moved the lunchtime a little bit later. By the time we got them to the cafeteria, JK and SK were fully there. And so we had to sort of find seats for them, and they just sat down with the junior kindergartners and senior kindergartners and struck up conversations. It was beautiful.
It really
And
was.
Heather got some great photos of that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your mornings. Thank you.
Classes, you might have heard his name. And Mushi is my way of introduction at the beginning of the year. Some of the children are very shy and don't know what drama is, and so they come to drama and Mushi makes them laugh. And as soon as they laugh, then they feel like that's a place I want to be. They come back and they're excited to come to drama. So I teach the younger children, the JK students, twice a week. One day a week drama and the other day a week movement education, which is kind of a creative movement. We also do gross motor skills with them. And much of what I do with the younger children in drama has to do with learning the skills of being a good student, literally focusing and listening and working together and sharing. And things like that. Those are the huge concepts that we want them to learn at that young age. And then as they get older and older, I like to empower them and have them be more of creating what we do in drama. I give them the structure, and I'm actually, the older kids have a lot of leadership opportunities. If you've been here during flag raising, you'll see a lot of the children stand up and speak. It's just a part of our culture here at Francis Parker. The arts, it's just, they are wrapped around each child, and they are, I think it's so fortunate that they have the arts here, because the arts do something that the academics cannot do. So when you have a school that is strong in academics and strong in arts and strong in athletics and PE, it's kind of magical what happens to your children. So the children learn not only how to collaborate with their classmates, but they learn that to find their creative power, and that they find a confidence, a self-confidence, which is wonderful. So they don't think anything of standing up in front of an audience of 500, 600, 700. They don't even think about that. They might get butterflies in their tummy, but I tell them that's a good thing. Everybody gets butterflies in your tummy. You use that to be a better actor and a better speaker. So this is basically the structure of my drama curriculum. It's something called creative drama. So it's not performance-based. It's more each individual child, the growth of each individual child creatively, and also creative and critical thinking are huge in this. We do puppetry, movement and mime, story dramatization. Story dramatization is a really big one, especially for the younger children. So I would tell them stories, and they have to listen and attend to the story in order to act it out afterwards. So creative and critical thinking, as I said, I'm also a member of the design team. So I think you might have, maybe some of you came to the design breakfast not long ago. But in the design team, we have all the different subjects: art, drama, design itself, library, and science. And we work together to do these pretty amazing projects with all the children. So it's been a wonderful thing for me as a teacher to work with my fellow colleagues in design thinking. And this is something we're teaching, and we weave it through the curriculum throughout the lower school years. So this is what I've been doing for years and years, and I'm just loving it because I want the children to leave the lower school with that great base of using their creative thinking, their creative and critical thinking, and creating special things in school, and not just going in and expecting to be listeners and learning from lecture, right? But being active learners. And that's a huge part of drama here at the lower school. I'm constantly looking for core classroom connections. So I've learned the curriculum of each grade level, and my drama activities and the theatrical plays that they do are based on the core curriculum here. So it's something that I'm always thinking about teaming up with the classroom teachers to make their learning to a deeper level. And when they're in a play and the play has to do with what they've been learning in their classroom, something they're going to retain, it's going to mean something to them because they're not just listening, they're doing it. They're actually, they're active participants. We do have, even though the program is not based on performance is a part of my drama curriculum. So basically, starting in first grade, each grade level has a play that they present. And once again, it's based on what their core classroom main themes are in their academics. And when they get in fifth grade, as I was saying before, I really like to, if you're picturing a kite on a string, I like to let that kite string out. The fifth graders are at the very top of the lower school student chain, and I really like for them to be the leaders. And so I don't write, most of the plays I've written for the younger kids based on the curriculum, but the fifth graders, I'm right now taking them through a script writing workshop. It's about a 5-week-long workshop. I'm teaching them to write scripts and how to use their creative planning to make their own stories. And they're loving it. They're really loving it. We're going to be presenting them next week to each other, just to fifth grade. But after that, starting in January, is a design thinking project that's huge in fifth grade, where they are the script writers of their own play. They are the designers. They're going to design sets, design costumes, design props. They are the actors. They are the stage managers. They are the technical resource persons. And they choose what area they want to focus on, and they create their own production. We give them a theme that's thematic for their classroom connection, which is ecology and taking better care of the earth. So they start with that major theme, and then they create. So each year, through the lower school, they're more and more involved in what they do and creating something special. So they take ownership. There's no 2 years in drama that are the same. I don't do the same thing every year. So they're excited and they're engaged and they love it, and they're not thinking about really what the benefits are. They're just they're in the moment and they're enjoying it, but the benefits are huge, right? So self-expression, speaking skills, self-confidence, creative thinking. A huge one is collaborating with their classmates. Now that's something that especially 2nd through 5th, I really work on that. How do we collaborate? What do you do when you're in a group and you have to create something, but somebody else has a different idea than you? How do you resolve that so that everybody can be an active participant?
Do you want to describe it?
Okay, so we have these blocks in my room, and the kids love them. This is part of their creativity that they get to express, right? They're expressing themselves. So what we do is, I might say for the children, okay, let's divide into teams, into groups, and you have to think about what you'd like to build with the blocks. And come up with one thing to build, and then you're going to create a scene around what you built. And oftentimes with the younger children, we do pantomime with the scene. So that takes that away from them so they can focus on the building and focus on the movement of our bodies and expression through our bodies. And then as they get older, we add the dialogue. What is dialogue, and how do we use both character development through the body and through the voice? And so here, this group, I can't remember what it was they were building, but this is what they built. I said, actors take your places, action, and then they act it out. The audience has to just demonstrate excellent audience skills. They can't be talking, they have to focus. That's another thing I really emphasize in my class. How to be a good audience member, how to be respectful of other people. So the children are watching, and then at the end, I say, actors come forward, and they call on children in the audience to guess what it was they built based on the clues that they presented through their bodies. Okay, so that's blocked, but they love that. These are some of the younger children. I believe at this photo was probably last year, right? But at the time they were in JK. This is what I was talking about when I tell them a story dramatization. So I had just finished telling them the simplest of stories, a nursery rhyme. Nursery rhyme is the simplest of stories. This happened to be Old King Cole. So I told them the Old King Cole story. This is the very first story dramatization they do in junior kindergarten. And they eat it up, they love it. I use a lot of music in drama as well. So I have some music playing, and I taught them a Russian dance. And they all just giggle and love it and have fun. And it's not all about, okay, get on the stage, let's have the spotlight on this child and let's see what you can do. That's not what this drama program is about. They're seeing it as playing stories and playing games. And that's all they need to think about at that point. They don't need to think about the deep, what the benefits are, but they get the benefits. All right, then we have face painting around Halloween time in junior kindergarten, and they love that, but I'm just trying to show them different aspects of theater, and oftentimes actors have some face painting or makeup, and so then they get to choose what they want, the element of choice, right? And then this is a second grade play, which we had in the beginning of November. It's called Coming to America. So what they're studying in second grade are their ancestors and immigration. And so the play I wrote years ago, and we had this fabulous group of parents that first year when I wrote the script, and they got together and I said, I need costumes for this. This play takes place in 1906. But I want the children to learn that people back then didn't dress the way we did. They didn't have light-up shoes, right? They didn't have sports shoes. So these parents were amazing. They had sewing circles, and they sewed these incredible costumes. So the children are learning about the immigration in the classroom, and then they do the play. They memorize lines. They have responsibility. They have to behave well backstage. So responsibility is a huge part of this, too. They're just getting all kinds of benefits. I can talk on and on about what they get from this. And these are the older children, and this is what we were talking about. The older they get, the more I let them be in small groups and make their choices and brainstorm. And you can see the pride on their faces after they made this really cool scene, and they're very proud, and they're taking a bow at the end. Okay, that's it. Any questions about the drama program? Everybody gets drama, JK through 5th. It's not a choice. They all have drama, and they all look forward to it. I think they have a fun time.
You're a genius for writing all those plays.
Oh,
There's a
thank
question.
you. Thank you. Yes, Bonnie.
Yes, can you tell us what is Showstoppers?
Yes. Now, Showstoppers is my after-school drama class. And that is optional. That is an optional after-school program. And in Showstoppers, we use the design thinking process for the children to create whatever play they want. So, and they love it because it is from them. It's not from me. I'm not telling them what the subject is. So they come to me. We spend the first 2 weeks with team building games, so they get to know each other because first semester it's 2nd and 3rd grade, and second semester is 4th and 5th grade. And so I want to make sure that they work together as teams and not have like this division, right? 2nd graders over here and 3rd graders over here. So once they do the team building, then we do brainstorming. I say, what would your theme of your play be? What would you like to have your play be about? And we fill my whiteboard up with their ideas. Boom, boom, boom. Their ideas are endless. They just keep saying, let's do it about pirates. Let's do it about whatever. They have all these ideas for their play. And then we start honing down the ideas. Well, let's talk about this. Would this be easy to do on the stage at our school? They're thinking, they're being critical thinkers. Then we finally hone it down to 5 ideas that are their favorite ideas, and we vote, and whatever they vote on, that's the idea, and we start creating their play. So they use improvisation, they're acting out things. What if we do this? Wouldn't it be funny if we did this? And their ideas, and I'm taking notes as they're giving me their ideas. After I have all their notes, I go home, and usually in one weekend, I'm usually up again, I have some late nights. I'm trying to figure out how to put all of their ideas together to make their play. So I type up the play and their script, and then they're so excited to get the scripts. They highlight their lines, they work on them, and they're so proud with the end product because it is, as I said, from them, not from me. And they're learning at the same time backstage behavior, how to work as a team. We talked about collaboration. That's huge. How do we collaborate with our peers? It's huge. And not just drama works on this. This is across the board with many subjects. How do you work together? And if you have a disagreement, what do we do? How do we solve that problem? Those are life skills. Those are not just drama skills, they're life skills. And this school, I have to tell you from a parent perspective, because I had 2 daughters who went all the way through Francis Parker. This school creates wonderful people, not just academically strong people, but wonderful, well-rounded people. I can't tell you enough about it. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud to be here, right? So, yes.
Quick question, how many years has your 5th grade class been creating their own performance from scratch?
Good question. So years ago, I did write a play for 5th grade based on the environment and taking care of the play. And then we started getting into this new concept of design thinking, which for years I had been doing it in my drama curriculum, but I never called it design thinking. But it started catching like wildfire, that this is the real way. This is true learning, right? We want the kids to learn through this process. And so the 5th grade teachers came to me and said, what do you think about not doing your play anymore, but having the 5th grade be the ones to, I love this idea. They are ready, especially the ones who have had drama for years here. They're totally ready. This is a great opportunity for them to showcase what they learned. And when we did it the first year, which was about,
3 years.
was it about 5 years ago, I want to say?
Oh,
I want to say 5 years about.
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, at least 4. I want to say 4 or 5. I was blown away because I was not the director of the play. I was the guide. I was on the side, the guide on the side. And they had student directors. And I heard the student directors using my phraseology that I've been telling them for years. Let's cheat out, you open your shoulders out, ping pong ball voice. I need to hear that voice. The kids were telling their peers, they were talking like little mini Mrs. Robinsons. I couldn't believe it. But at the same time, they weren't coming to me for help and guidance. They were confident in what they were doing. The kids who were the designers were confident and proud of their creations. So I saw this level of pride, boom, step up the level. And it was an opportunity for my drama students to showcase themselves, showcase their creative talents in many different ways, not just as actors. So we had kids, yes, that wanted to be actors, but we had, it seems to work out every year. It's amazing. Kids who really want to be designers, or who really like that design process, or kids who really want to be a leader as a director or a stage manager who showcases leadership backstage as well, which is hugely important. And then it showcased to the kids how important all those different roles were, and that they could actually be part of something that was a team project and feel such pride. So I love that the 5th graders get to do this. And it's totally appropriate for that age level. It would not be appropriate for a 2nd grade class to do that. They're not quite ready. They don't have that maturity, that experience, but the 5th graders do. So I love how the program builds, and it just seems to be so age appropriate, and it gives the kids such a creative outlet. Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you.
So glad we had a teacher dress down day on coffee day. In Sunday's best. I'm Alia Jaywook. I'm the SK through 5th grade music teacher. As you can see here, this is JK music. Are there any JK parents here? Oh, okay. So I don't teach JK music, but Senora Heredia, she teaches JK music. I work with them on accompanying them for their programs. So we had a holiday program or a grandparent program a couple weeks ago, and in JK music they work on a lot of music and movement and expanding vocal range. So they sing a lot of songs with about 5 to 6 different pitches, and they work on that, expanding that throughout the year.
Oh, so there
I am. I cropped out the coffee stain because last year's picture, and if you go to your child's yearbook, you can see, oh yeah, sure enough, she's spilling the coffee. So that's me. This is Anthony Kanister. He is in the classroom with me helping out. He's phenomenal. You can have him sing. He's a tenor, and he's got his own performance group called the Men in Black. It's spelled with a Q. Q-U-E. Some different, but yeah. Okay, so in music, I follow the national standards for music education pretty closely and the California standards. So we work on singing, composing, improvising. One of the main things I do with the younger grades, I put them together in little groups and we form little mini bands. So this week we've been working on the dreidel song. So 2 people will sing, 1 person will attempt to play the melody on the xylophone, and somebody else will keep time with rhythm sticks. So, and then they put on the performance at the end of class. So that's one of the things we work on. Yeah, we can go to the next one. Yeah, here I am. This is me and SK. So we are getting ready for our grandparents program. You know what song that is, Letty?
Oh yeah, it was probably my buddy song.
Yeah.
This one is actually when they're I want to be. They're saying.
Yeah. It's called "When Will I Grow Up."
When Will I Grow Up? The song that Letty composed. So they're learning that. They have their eyes closed.
That's right.
It's part of the performance.
It's part of the.
Yeah, it's all part of it. Don't worry. And then here we are. This is 1st grade, and they're working on a Star Wars song on the xylophone. And if you can see here, there's sheet music, but within the notes, I have the actual pitch name written in. So it shows where C is on the staff, but it also has it written in there. And I only put on the amount of pitches that they need for the song as not to confuse them. So one of those is a higher octave C, one of them's lower. Yep, that's that. And here we are with 2nd grade still, so same idea. With SK first and even 2nd, I still work on music and movement with them, but I also incorporate a lot of instrument playing. In the beginning of the year, 2nd grade started working with the ukuleles. I'm going to bring those back later this year, but SK and 1st grade will be playing those this year. And they're also going to be having recorders. And then once we get to 3rd grade, that's when the kids dive deeper into each instrument. So they spend about 9 to 10 weeks on recorder, 9 to 10 on violin, and then 9 to 10 on the ukuleles. In that time, they learn how to read music pertaining to that different instrument, and then we pull it all together for one big group performance. Are there any 3rd grade parents in here? Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we start to get into 4th and 5th grade chorus, that's when we work on composing a lot more. With 5th grade, if anyone was here for the homecoming flag raising, they came up with all those lyrics themselves. So we work on a lot of composing. We have performances throughout the year. Coming up this weekend, we're going to have, they're going to perform at Open House. And let's see, what else we do? We also work on ukulele and guitar performance, so I'll do the same thing. They get to play various songs reading chord charts for guitar and ukulele. That Fifth grade course is my biggest class, so half the class will be using ukuleles, half will be using guitar at the same time. And we work on accompanying ourselves, so singing and playing. Next I have, oh, here's fourth grade chorus, so there they are working on a song. And these are the ukuleles. There. Fourth and fifth grade band, we work on music theory. They're all reading music for their instrument. We work on breath control and our embouchure. We also work on being able just to play in an ensemble. We learn various scales. Right now they have concert B flat, down, and we're moving on. That's the percussion section in the back. And fourth and fifth grade strings. Same thing here, we work on our technique and our music theory. We're also expanding our scales where we've moved on to minor scales. So, are there any fifth grade strings parents here? No? Oh, yeah. Let's see. We also get different opportunities to perform besides the 3 main concerts that we have during the year. Fifth grade strings performed at the homecoming assembly, and then there's going to be another performance in the spring for them besides the 3 main concerts. And yes. So any questions on music? Yes.
For your ensemble work in fourth, fifth grade, do they perform, participate in any kind of competition sort of based things? Like in public schools, they have that sort of opportunity.
They do in middle school.
Or at least I did. I don't know about in California, but.
Yeah, that all happens in middle school.
In middle school.
In middle school, they get music 4 days a week, so, and for 45 minutes. So they have,
Oh, okay.
yeah. In music here, we get it twice a rotation. So every 2 days they come to music. That goes for all the grades.
Can you talk about the music choice going to fourth and fifth grade?
Yeah. So in fourth grade, you can either go into band, or you can go into chorus, which is singing and also guitar and ukulele, or you can go into strings, cello, violin, viola, and bass. So the students have, they get to take their first choice, second choice, and then third choice. 9 times out of 10, everyone gets their first choice. But that might change.
So you the same instrument fourth and fifth grade? Or
No. So say in fourth grade, they play the flute, and then they decide by the end of fourth grade that, you know what, that's not for me. And they want to change to strings or go into chorus. I welcome that with open arms. This is the time for them to explore the different instruments, see what they like, see what they don't like, and then that way once they get to sixth grade, they can take whatever instrument they choose more seriously. Yes?
This is, excuse me, a question for you, but also possibly for Dr. G.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the seasonal music choices and how that integrates with the school's approach to culture and holidays.
Sure. So are you talking about grade specific or?
No, I mean in general, because I've heard different things about that there have been recent changes about sort of sharing culture and holidays in the classroom. And then I know that they're doing some Christmas and Hanukkah songs, and I was just wondering about sort of this. It sounds, this is my first year here, so I don't know what it was before. I definitely would have heard.
Yeah, so a lot of the songs that we do around this time, they're for the holidays, all secular songs. So we're doing Christmas songs, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and we're singing in different languages too. Mm-hmm. So they're, yeah. So a lot of these songs were already in the repertoire here, and so I'm still using some of those.
Yeah, I can add to that. So really the concept is, we know that we have a student body that is very diverse in many ways, including religion, and we want to make sure that every child feels wanted, needed, part of our big picture here. So we are very mindful about what we do with music and drama and all the subjects as well. So we have made, through the years, many efforts to make sure that the music we present is something that will represent everybody. And so what I like to think is, no matter what your religion, we want you to learn songs from every religion, every culture. And it's not like if you are Christian, you aren't going to sing the Hanukkah songs, or if you're Jewish, you're not going to sing the Christian songs, and so forth. It's everybody's learning about everyone else. And so there's a real feel for inclusivity. And that it's wonderful to have all these differences in our school. So that
Faculty and staff have been spending a lot of time with them, metaphor of windows and mirrors. We want our students to be able to see from others' perspectives, but also to appreciate theirs within our curriculum. So this is affecting everything, not just the music program, but also what we're doing in the classroom. And we've been spending a lot of time in professional development, those late start Wednesdays, talking about these things, the materials we're using, and how we're presenting things to students, and raising our consciousness. Believe it or not, at one point, our program is so polarized. We had a December program. There was the Christmas program. And as our population became a lot more diverse, we understood that we had to become much more inclusive. Now, that holiday program had been going on for probably 45 years. And as a new principal at the time, I thought, oh, great, deal with this. It's like the high issue we needed to deal with. Something wonderful happened. We added all of this. And in doing so, we had to put up a great big blue wall right across the courtyard. It was awesome because it happened just before the holiday program. So that year I was able to say, whoop, we're moving on. And we did, in a beautiful way. And I think now, in constructing all of our programs, we're trying to make sure that everybody can see themselves in the program.
And we have a really special sing-along. We call it the Holiday Sing-Along. And more parents attend every year, so we welcome all of you. But it is a time you can see for yourselves that we are celebrating multiculturalism and everything under the sun. And the kids all love it. I mean, one of their favorite parts are the fact that they are singing different songs from different cultures and different holidays. So it is a warm time, and it's a time that we find commonalities among all the different cultures. And so it's pretty special.
The field we had yesterday, but I think a lot of our faculty and staff recognized yesterday's assembly as maybe the best one.
Best one ever, yeah.
And the sing-along has the same feel. It feels like a great big family sitting in the courtyard. So if you haven't ever been to one, see if you can carve out the time. It'll be that last day from 2 to 3. But it just feels right. It's warm. Everybody's there having a great time, enjoying one another.
Some of the kids will be playing instruments that day during some are playing piano. I have a couple on violin, guitar. Be exciting.
And I just wanted to add, during Language and Culture Week, the parents have a lot of opportunity to participate as well. And that's a nice aspect where we're brought in, and in some years, new cultures and new languages are brought in, depending on the parent input. So that's a really great opportunity for families to participate.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that. That week, you'll see solicitations for parents to come in and participate during the foreign language classes. This can be 5 minutes. If you've got a story, something that would raise a student's consciousness about anything, it could be 5 minutes, an experience that happened to you, or it could be a song that you learned, or a dance that you know, or something you want to show the kids how to cook. We've had such a range of experiences, and it's just a beautiful time because we see so many families and so many volunteers who we don't ordinarily see come in during that time. So don't be intimidated if you never worked with a group of kids. It can be a very small amount of time for something very simple, and they certainly appreciate it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we
They
have
need to go to
classes.
class.